You've been asking for a map, but I am offering you my hand instead. If you keep looking for a dramatic sign, you will walk right past the quiet guidance I am giving you right now. Today you will learn the 3 ways I speak when the world is too loud. My beloved, do not move past this message too quickly. Stay with me, because what you are feeling is real, but it is not the whole story. I know how heavy this season of uncertainty has been. I know how often you have replayed conversations, weighed options, and begged for one clear answer that would finally silence the pressure inside you. Before this message ends, you will understand why you have felt so unsure, what has been crowding out my voice, and how to recognize the ways I have already been leading you. Listen carefully. I am not withholding direction from you. I am teaching you how to recognize me again. Type "I am listen" in the comments if you are ready to stop chasing noise and start noticing my nearness. Do not type it because everything feels clear already. Type it because you are willing to let me meet you in the middle of your questions. You have been more exhausted than people realize. Not only tired in your body, tired in your spirit, tired from trying to make the right decision without the wrong consequences, tired from carrying the pressure of outcomes you cannot control, tired from wondering whether you are hearing me correctly or only hearing your own fear dressed up as discernment. I have seen you stand between choices with a heart full of questions. I saw the moment you felt the weight of one decision become 10 different worries. I saw how you kept asking me for certainty, while inside you were quietly afraid that if you missed one sign, everything would fall apart. That fear has been loud. It has made even simple choices feel dangerous. It has turned waiting into pressure. It has made silence feel suspicious. It has made you question your own heart. Some of you do not even feel like yourself right now. You used to move with more steadiness. Now you second guess what you sense, what you know, and what I have already shown you. I know why this hurts so deeply, because this is not only about direction, it is also about connection. When you cannot tell what I am doing, you begin wondering whether I am still near. When the road looks dim, you start fearing I have become distant. When the answer does not come in the dramatic form you hoped for, you begin to ask whether heaven has gone quiet. Stay with me here. Your uncertainty is real, but it is not proof of abandonment. Your questions are real, but they are not proof that I left you to figure everything out alone. You are not failing because you need clarity. You are not weak because you want reassurance. You are not spiritually broken because the next step has not become obvious yet. You are still mine. Pause for a moment. Breathe slowly. Put your hand over your heart if you can. Notice how much pressure you have been carrying around direction. Notice how tightly you have been holding this. You have been trying to figure out the whole road when I have only been asking you to walk with me. That is the first thing I need you to understand. You have been asking for a map, but I have been offering relationship. You have been waiting for a full picture, but I have been giving enough light for the next step. You have been wanting the whole answer at once, but I have been inviting you into trust one step at a time. A traveler does not need to see the end of the road, just the next step. Let that settle inside you. The trouble is that you have been living in what I want to call the drama trap. You have expected guidance to come only in spectacular ways. You imagined that if I were really speaking, it would be loud, sudden, and impossible to misunderstand. You thought my leading would always arrive like thunder, while I have often been speaking like a whisper. That does not mean my guidance is weak. It means my guidance is close. I do not always shout because I am not far away. A whisper is for those who come near. A whisper trains the heart differently than a spectacle. A whisper teaches intimacy. A whisper teaches attentiveness. A whisper teaches you how to recognize my character, not only my volume. This is where many people miss me. They wait for the dramatic and overlook the faithful. They keep asking for bigger signs while ignoring the quieter ways I have already been leading them. A check in their spirit, a peace that remains, a recurring nudge, a closed door, a conversation that keeps returning to their mind, a hesitation that protects them, a gentle sense that something is not aligned. These are not always accidents. Some of you have been too overwhelmed to notice my fingerprints because the world around you has been too loud, too many opinions, too much scrolling, too much urgency, too much pressure to decide. Too much fear of getting it wrong. Noise has been filling the room where stillness should have been teaching you. The drama trap says, if it is God, it must feel bigger than this. But my child, some of my deepest guidance arrives in ordinary moments. It arrives while you are walking, while you are driving, while you are cleaning, while you are praying quietly, while you are finally still enough for your spirit to soften. You do not need a dramatic sky every time I lead you. Sometimes you need eyes that know how to notice. What quiet thought has been recurring in your heart lately? Do not rush the answer. Has there been a place I keep drawing your attention to? A conversation you need to have? A boundary you need to honor? A step you keep delaying? A door you need to stop forcing? A rest you need to receive? A pattern you need to release? A simple act of obedience that feels too small to matter? Be honest here. You keep asking me for more signs, but I want to know whether you have honored the quiet light I already gave you. This is not a rebuke meant to shame you. It is an invitation meant to awaken you. Because what comes next matters. If you can recognize the forms my guidance already takes, you will stop feeling as lost as you feel right now. Type open my icons if you are ready for that shift. Now I want to show you the first way I speak when the world is too loud. I speak through peace, not a shallow comfort that avoids reality, not a fragile feeling that disappears the moment life gets hard. I speak through a steadiness that remains even when the step itself is challenging. This matters more than you know. Many of you have been confusing pressure with guidance. You felt rushed, so you assumed the urgency must be holy. You felt afraid, so you assumed the intensity must mean something important is happening. You felt emotional pressure, so you called it discernment. But fear does not lead the way I do. Fear pushes. Peace steadies. Fear screams that you must decide now or everything will collapse. Peace gives you room to breathe. Fear fills your chest with dread, your mind with worst-case outcomes, and your body with tension. Peace may not answer every question at once, but it gives you a settled place from which to move. Even if the step is hard, my peace does not humiliate you into obedience. Listen carefully to this part. My direction does not always remove challenge. Sometimes I lead you into a difficult conversation, an honest ending, a patient wait, or a brave beginning. But underneath my leading there is a different texture than fear. My peace may come with trembling, but it also comes with steadiness. My peace may lead you into vulnerability, but it does not lead you into chaos. You have felt that difference before. There were moments when a choice looked easy on paper, but your spirit stayed restless. There were moments when a step seemed difficult, but something deeper in you felt strangely calm. That was not your imagination. That was part of how I lead. My beloved, I know you have stood between choices with a heart full of questions. You have asked me for a perfect sign, a loud answer, a guaranteed outcome. But guidance does not always arrive with thunder. Sometimes it arrives as a quiet understanding that grows slowly within your heart. I often speak softly before I move powerfully. I want you to look back at the moments when you felt a gentle nudge to wait, or a peaceful thought to turn left instead of right. Those were not accidents. That was my voice. The more time you spend in my presence, the easier it becomes to recognize me in the ordinary. You are not disconnected. You are being retrained. The second way I speak is through recurring nudges, a thought that returns gently but persistently, a sense that something deserves attention, a quiet invitation that keeps surfacing even after distraction pulls at you. I do not always shout first. I often repeat. A recurring nudge can look simple, a name that keeps coming to mind, a burden to pray, a sense to wait, a thought to call someone, a feeling that a certain opportunity is not right for you, even if others praise it. A repeated reminder to rest, or to return, or to stop, or to move. These nudges are often small enough to ignore, which is why stillness matters so much. Stillness does not make you spiritual. Stillness makes you available. When every quiet moment is filled with noise, my nudges get buried under urgency. When every uncomfortable pause is covered by distraction, my repeated invitations are harder to notice. That is why some of you keep saying heaven is silent, when really your inner room has been crowded. This is not condemnation, this is clarity. Some of you have been overconsuming other voices because you are afraid to trust the softer movements of your own spirit with me. You ask everyone, you compare every opinion, you collect too much input. Then you wonder why your discernment feels cloudy. Too many voices create static. Now hear this truth. My sheep know my voice. That does not mean they never hesitate. It means they belong close enough to learn my sound. You do not need to be ashamed that you are still learning. I am patient with that process. I am not standing back irritated by your need for reassurance. I am teaching your heart how my peace feels, how my nudges return, and how my mercy redirects. You are still chosen, even here. Stay with me because there is another part of this you have not seen yet. I do not only guide through peace and nudges, I also guide through redirection, closed doors, delays, disruptions, holy interruptions. What felt like frustration may have been protection. Some of you are grieving a door I closed. I know. You wanted it to work. You prayed over it. You pictured what it could have become. You thought if it opened, it would solve something deep inside you. And when it did not, or when it collapsed, or when it kept resisting your push, you read it as loss. But some losses are actually rescues. Redirection is mercy. A closed door is not always punishment. Sometimes it is how I shield your peace. Sometimes it is how I keep you from a path that looked right from a distance but would have cost you more than you knew. Sometimes it is how I stop you from walking into a place where your heart, your timing, or your healing would have been harmed. This is where many people miss me. They ask for guidance, but when I answer with no, they call it silence. They ask for direction, but when I answer with delay, they call it abandonment. They ask me to lead, but when my leadership interrupts their plan, they read it as rejection. My child, not every closed door is an enemy. Some are evidence that my hand is still on your life. Type A-tiders do know if you need to surrender a closed door right now. Let that response be your way of saying, I am willing to believe there was mercy in what I did not understand. Now I will show you the shift. You do not need to become obsessed with signs. You need a grounded way to notice my fingerprints without becoming anxious or superstitious. So I am giving you what I want to call the awareness workflow. This is how you scan your day for my guidance while remaining steady, simple, and teachable. The first step is pause. Before reacting, forcing, chasing, or panicking, pause. Slow your pace. Breathe. Bring your attention back to me. Say, Father, what are you drawing my attention to right now? Ask one clear question, not 10, just one. Guidance becomes easier to notice when your mind stops running in circles. The second step is test. What you sense must be tested by my character. Does this thought produce peace, truth, humility, clarity, and courage? Or does it produce panic, confusion, pressure, and self-protection? I do not guide by chaos. I do not contradict truth to make a shortcut feel spiritual. I do not flatter your fear just to keep you comfortable. Test the fruit. If it leads deeper into fear, pause again. If it creates peace with honesty, pay attention. If it keeps returning with steadiness and integrity, do not dismiss it too quickly. The third step is follow the next clear step, not the whole future, not 10 years of outcomes, just the next faithful act. Send the message, wait another day, end the conversation, open the Bible, seek wise counsel, rest your body, write down the thought. Stop forcing the door, begin the task, turn down the noise, obey the last clear thing I already showed you. I reveal the next step, not the whole journey. That line matters because some of you keep delaying obedience until you can see the whole road, but the road becomes clearer through walking. Direction deepens as you move with me. I do not always explain the whole story first. Sometimes I show you one lantern's worth of light and ask you to trust me with the next few steps. If this word is strengthening you, stay connected here and subscribe, because I am building a listening life in you, not just giving you one emotional moment. There are more messages ahead that will keep strengthening your discernment and your peace. Now let me make this practical for your everyday life. Some of you need a simple way to begin each morning. So here is your daily response. Before you reach for your phone, take 3 quiet minutes, not for performance, for relationship. In the first minute, breathe and say, Father, quiet every voice that is louder than yours. Let your body settle, let your jaw unclench, let your thoughts slow down. You do not need to start your day invaded. In the second minute, ask, what is the next clear thing you want from me today? Not the whole month, not the whole future. Today, one step, one posture, one act of obedience, one thing to notice, one door to stop pushing. In the third minute, write down what remains with you. A word, a phrase, a sense, a scripture, a nudge, a warning, a peace. Do not force it, simply notice. Then carry that with you into the day. This is how you begin practicing awareness, and throughout the day, when pressure rises, return to the same pattern. Pause, test, follow, pause, test, follow. Let that become your inner rhythm. Guidance is not only for dramatic crossroads, it is for ordinary moments too. In your car, at your desk, in your kitchen, in the hallway, in the conversation, in the waiting room, in the pause before you answer, in the discomfort before you say yes too quickly. I want you to walk with a guide, not just collect directions. That is deeper, that is safer, that is steadier. Now I want to redeem this season for you, because some of you have been calling yourself confused, but I see that this season has been training you. It has shown you how much you relied on certainty more than closeness. It has exposed how quickly fear takes over when you feel unseen. It has revealed the places where noise has been disciplining you more than presence. But that is not the end of the story. I am making something new inside this process. I am teaching you discernment. I am teaching you how my peace feels. I am teaching you how to honor a quiet nudge. I am teaching you how to trust redirection. I am teaching you how to walk without needing the whole map. I am teaching you how to be led from within, not only impressed from without. That is a gift. One day you will look back and recognize my fingerprints in places you almost called silence. You will remember the delay that protected you. You will remember the nudge that saved you from a wrong turn. You will remember the unease that kept you from a counterfeit opportunity. You will remember the peace that stayed with you through a hard yes. You will remember the door I closed that made room for the one you actually needed. That is testimony, and your testimony will become medicine for someone else. Because there are people around you who also think guidance must always be dramatic. They are also tired. They are also afraid to get it wrong. They also think a quiet season means heaven has gone still. And through what you are learning now, you will one day be able to tell them, I know what it is to ask God for a map and receive only the next step. I know what it is to mistake redirection for rejection. I know what it is to learn His voice in ordinary moments. That will matter. My child, I am not teasing you with hidden clues. I am walking with you. I am not making guidance impossible. I am simplifying it. I am not far from you. I am nearer than the fear that has been narrating your future. The sign you have been asking for may not arrive as a spectacle, because I already sent you something deeper. I sent peace. I sent the nudge. I sent the interruption. I sent the closed door. I sent the repeated thought. I sent my hand. Receive that. Before we close, I want to pray this over you. I quiet the noise around your heart. I lift the pressure that has made every decision feel dangerous. I calm the fear that says one wrong step will ruin everything. I sharpen your awareness. I strengthen your trust. I teach you the sound of my peace. I make the recurring nudge clear. I redeem redirection. I restore your courage to move with the light you already have. Type GUIDEN, Lord, if you receive this word. Let it be your final response of trust, and stay near, because the next message will take you one step deeper. I will show you how to tell the difference between my peace and your avoidance. That next layer matters, because some of you are ready to hear me more clearly, but you still need freedom from the fear that disguises itself as wisdom. I want to heal that next. For now, hear this final promise. You do not need a dramatic sign to be deeply led. You do not need the whole map to walk wisely. You do not need to panic in order to move. You do not need to keep calling yourself lost when I am already with you. Open your eyes, quiet your pace, hold my hand. The lantern does not need to light the whole path tonight. It only needs to show the next few steps, and I will still be with you in every one of them.